Darth Maul absolutely loathed the Jedi Order, and not just that, he was disgusted by each and single member of the Order. He believed that they had abandoned him as a child, left him to suffer at the hands of the Sith. He believed that they were the galaxy's greatest lie, a myth that a savior would come and rescue the innocents from the shackles of their pain. But Maul would learn to embrace the shackles, to use his pain and his hatred to eventually break them, breaking free of the lie that was the Jedi. He found them to be ultimately inferior to the Sith in every conceivable way, as taught to him directly by Sidious, who nurtured this vile side of the young Night Brother. Growing up as a boy in Sidious's care, Maul was trained rigorously in the Sith arts and became a master at the blade and the perfect Jedi killer. It wouldn't just be indoctrination that Sidious used to make Maul hate the Jedi, but he gave him somewhat of a righteous reason as well. On a trip to the Sith world of Malachor, where Sidious forced Maul to look upon an atrocity that the Jedi had committed against the Sith. Upon touching one of the lightsabers there, Maul was immediately swept up in a terrifying vision of Jedi surrounding him and slaying him and the other Sith. From this moment, Maul always had a reason to absolutely despise the Jedi. He watched from afar, wishing and lusting for the moment that he would one day be able to kill one with his own hands. However, Sidious, who desired to keep the Sith a secret, did not let Maul engage with any Jedi. This made his anger fester even longer, as Maul's hatred for the Jedi was legendary. But did you know that there was actually one Jedi Master that Maul respected a great deal, more than any other? And no, it was not Qui-Gon Jinn. So, sit with us today, Acolytes, as we take a look back into Maul's damaged mind and see which Jedi gained his respect, and whom Maul deemed as a great teacher. Our story comes from the canon 2017 comic run of Maul, which takes place somewhere within a couple of years before the events of the Phantom Menace. We open with Maul slaying some monsters on an off-world while reciting the tenets of the Sith Code. When he cleans up there, he returns to the world of Coruscant, where he decides to spy on the Jedi along the way, but is nearly spotted when he gets too close to them. He then meets with his master Sidious, who scolds him for being so reckless and sends him on a mission to take care of some political rivals that were irritating Palpatine. Maul isn't happy about this, but he obliges, deeming it boring and not worth his talents. It's immediately made clear to us that Maul feels wasted, being trained since childhood to slay Jedi and not allowed to even get near one. He overcomes every challenge easily and mops up every kill that he is ordered to, all while desperately desiring a true challenge and a fight. During his current mission, he learned something that could give him that opportunity though. Some crime lord had captured a young Jedi Padawan and was going to be auctioning her off in an underground party. Seizing the chance, Maul tracks down this Padawan where he can enter the auction and even enlists to help Cad Bane, while also keeping it a secret that he was Sith. To make a long story short, Maul infiltrates the auction successfully and finds the Jedi Padawan, who turns out to be a young female Twi'lek by the name of Eldra Catus. Maul actually rescues her and then flees to a nearby world, where he, Cad Bane, and the rest of the group are pursued by the bounty hunters that were cheated out of their prize. Maul and Eldra end up splitting up from Cad Bane in order to divide and conquer, while they were being hunted by the other bounty hunters. Maul the entire time was frustrated with the fact that his ultimate goal was being prolonged even further by these thugs, and that because of that, he could not duel the Jedi one-on-one, forcing him to leave no witness that he was a Sith. So he had to clean up everyone nicely, otherwise Sidious would find out about his treachery and likely kill him. During the battle with all of the bounty hunters, Maul ends up freeing the young Jedi and giving back her lightsaber. For a brief moment, Maul and the Jedi worked together quite well, all while sizing each other up in the process. Maul hid nothing from the young Padawan, and made his intentions to her clear that from the very beginning, the Sith would kill the Jedi. It was his sacred rite of passage that would secure himself in his own mind as a Dark Lord. The young Jedi, though, was talented. She had a moment with Maul where she implored him to give up on this task, offering to him that they could be allies. But of course, Maul spat at that notion, and when they were done, the duel began. Maul, obsessed with his only task, to finally unleash his fury that he had trained for decades to bolster, to strike down and to feel the blood of a Jedi. They were both ferocious in their duel, and the young Jedi Eldra was surprisingly talented. Her tenacity and fieriness in combat took Maul by surprise. He even entertained the idea that in another life, they could have actually been allies, and perhaps she could be swayed to the dark side. But that was not the life that each of them had chosen. She earned his attention and focus as she took advantage of his overconfidence and managed to cut through his upper tunic, centimeters from his chest. Maul admitted that if he had not stayed focused, she would have cut him down quickly. The young Jedi was a real talent, fighting for her life. Throughout the second part of the duel, Eldra continually earned Maul's continued attention and even, soon, his respect, as he admitted that to himself. There was even a part in the fight where Maul began to actively worry that no other Jedi would be a worthy challenge to him, as this Jedi proved to be so proficient that there would be no battle that would ever match up to this in terms of ferocity and skill. With Maul ultimately feeling slightly disappointed at this prospect, Maul could tell that this young Jedi was soon to be a Jedi Knight, simply due to her skill. The young Eldra tried to save herself at one point by remarking to him that even if he killed her, it would not mean anything, as she was just a simple Padawan, and she knew that he desired to kill a real Jedi. When she thought she had dispatched Maul though, he suddenly returned and stabbed her through the torso when her defenses were lowered. As she lay there dying, Maul said these words, which intrigued us greatly. He says, "Make no mistake, Eldra Catus, you are a Jedi." We are a huge fan of Star Wars when villains compliment their heroes and garners their respect. But there is also more going on beneath the surface here, especially this coming from Maul of all people. It echoes Sidious's "So be it, Jedi" from Return of the Jedi, except rather than it being a venomous statement, Maul validated all of Eldra's hopes and dreams in the moment of her death, calling her a real Jedi. Even though Maul did not acknowledge her as an equal, he recognized her as a worthy opponent, and the first Jedi to ever gain his respect. The only other Jedi to get close would be Qui-Gon Jinn. And as we mentioned before, Maul was actually enjoying the fight that he was having with Qui-Gon, but he knew that the duel was being dragged out far longer than it should be. And due to this, Maul had to settle with a much less satisfactory victory by resorting to, in his words, a dirty trick, which was to smack the chin of Qui-Gon with the hilt of his lightsaber before impaling him. Maul was incredibly disappointed with how this fight concluded, as he wanted to demonstrate his superior skill blade to blade against a Jedi Master. Luckily for him though, this time he had beaten Eldra fair and square, with no questions being left as to who was the superior duelist between the Jedi and the Sith. Nonetheless though, this very young Padawan did earn the respect and even comforting last words from Maul. But anyway friends, what did you think of learning that Maul's only respected Jedi was actually his first Jedi kill? Did you think that Maul really respected anyone else if they weren't a Sith after this, even Kenobi or Qui-Gon? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments down below. And as always my friends, may the Force be with you.